Cool. So what I want to actually talk about today, I want to talk about the 1% club. I want to talk about the 1% club. And what is the 1% club? So you got to think about it. So like it's different worlds that people live in. I want you guys to understand that, when we talk about the 95% of people, 95% of people, they have their own world and own beliefs. They have their own world and they have their own beliefs. When you talk about the 3% have their own world and their own beliefs. And then the 1% have their own world and own beliefs. It's a different mindset and a different thinking process towards each sections. And I want you guys to understand, just like in the real world, the same thing in different industries. In the different industries, per se, let's say our industry per se, you have the 95% in what it is that we do too. That's per se the customers. And then you have the 3% in what it is that we do. That's the chairmans, the six-figure earners. And then what about the 1% in what we do? What about the 1% in this world? So the 1% in this world is rare. And the 1% in this world, and to get into the 1%ers club in this world is rare because 99% of people don't make it to this arena. 99% of people don't make it to this into this arena. Guys, in every single industry, only 1% of people thrive in that industry. You can Google it. It's the basically the statistics. Even in the NBA, even in this industry, even in the foreign exchange industry, only 1% of people actually thrive in specific industries. But nobody ever thinks and asks themselves, how do they get into the 1%ers club? What is the 1%ers club? How do I think like a 1%er? Because one thing you got to understand, that 1%ers have a different belief system and a different work ethic and a different perspective on how 99% of people actually think. The 1%ers are people that's in flow state. An example, Bryce, flow state. Crypto Picasso, flow state. Christopher Terry, flow state. Riot, flow state. Because inside this world, they are the 1%ers. They are the 1%ers. Because 1%ers, their vision, they don't think in the now, they live in the future. Right? I hope this making sense. So the goal is to get yourself into the 1%ers club. So what does it take to get into this club? What does it take to be at the top of what you do? See, understand this, guys. I put a post that I had today, and I said this: it's not what you do, it's who you are, and it's not what you do, it's who you are, and who you are is basically your inner man. You have to listen. Who you are is basically your inner man. That's the 1%ers club. The 1%ers club is people that understand how to live within their inner man. Because think about it. If I'm living in my inner man, see, your inner man is when you close your eyes and you hear that voice in the back of your head, and you close your eyes and you see those pictures in your head. That's the 1%ers club. But to live in a 1%ers club, I have to understand who I am. I hope this is making sense. But so the paragraph that I put today, this is my caption. I said this. I said that you make it to the top based off of who you are. It's really you versus you, no matter what. I said the challenge is never what you do. The challenge is never what you do. That's an illusion. See, what you do just develops you into a new version of yourself. If you're great in one field, you'll be great in another one. Right? I said simple as that. So what I meant by that was this, to give you revelation. What I meant by that was this. Guys, what you have to understand, see, coming in, you think from the perspective that you in an opportunity. But I want you guys to understand, don't think from the perspective that you're in an opportunity. I want you to look at yourself like you are the opportunity. You is the opportunity. You have to look at it from that perspective. You are not in the vehicle, you are the vehicle. You have to look at it from that context, because a lot of people you don't want to box your mind and box yourself in to a specific thing. It's not necessarily that. I want you to understand that your top is based off of who you are as a person. Your success is based off of who you are as a person and what you bring to the table to the people that's around you. Right? That's your top. Because check this out. Check this out. I want you to understand this. If you ever been through something and you seen other people, I'm gonna give you an example. I gotta speak from this perspective. Drop a 7 in the chat box if you ever been through something that other people been through, but you were still standing afterwards after those people left. Drop a 7 in the chat box. If you ever been through something and you stayed standing while the rest of the people left, you never quit. Just drop a 7 in the chat box. See, what that means is this, guys. What that means is guys, see, you know that you built different when you can go through certain things and not fold how other people folded. That should tell you context about who you really are. If you can go through things and stay consistent while other people couldn't stay consistent and they folded, I'm just using the example, what that tells you, it was never what you do. It was really who you are, because who you are is what's going to keep you grounded. That's the 1%ers club. They understand things from that perspective. I hope that understands. Another thing. So I'm gonna give you guys I'm gonna give you guys a couple examples. So check this out. Because we not thinking in the box. We're not thinking in the box. So check this out. I don't even listen to that, but I'm gonna give you guys an example. So I'm gonna give you guys examples, because I gotta paint the picture you guys here. I'm gonna give you guys an example of people that's in a 1%ers club. So think of specific industries and think about people that's at the top in those industries, and take that back to context to what you do. So think about Jay-Z. So Jay-Z was born December 4th. You know, his birthday a day after mine. My birthday is December 3rd. His birthday is December 4th. But Jay-Z, he was born in New York, and being that he was born in New York, he was born and raised in the projects, the bottoms. So growing up, Jay-Z had a lot of challenges and adversities and things like that. You know, even though he's in the music industry thriving coming up, you know, Jay-Z had hardships growing up. He didn't come from a wealthy family. He came from a poor family, right? Even growing up, again, you know, think about it. Think about Jay-Z living in, I believe he was from Harlem. I believe he was from Harlem. So think of Jay-Z. Being that Jay-Z came from the bottom, you don't think that Jay-Z had challenges? You don't think that Jay-Z had challenges growing up? You don't think that, like, okay, cool. Jay-Z had a vision. He was born in Brooklyn. Thank you, Aaron. But being that he was born in Brooklyn, I thought Brooklyn too. So being that he was born in Brooklyn, think about you and think about Jay-Z. He was born in Brooklyn, and being that he was born in Brooklyn, do you, around the time, because he was born around, like, you know, when they was like really selling drugs heavy in the streets, you don't think Jay-Z had adversities? You don't think that Jay-Z had, you know, was broke at certain times? You don't think that Jay-Z had to overcome, you know, challenges and things like that? So knowing that, even though he went through those challenges and adversities and things like that, even though, you know, even coming up, Jay-Z had to even sell drugs and stuff to get the money to actually pay for his vision with the music industry. See, he always had a vision, things like that, but it's certain things that he had to do in order to, like, you know, stay consistent and actually, you know, succeed in the industry that he's actually in. And even though he stayed focused, right now, Jay-Z's a billionaire, right? So he came from that adversity, and look where he's at now. So that's one person. Let me pull on another person. P. Diddy. Same thing with P. Diddy, right? Growing up, his mom used to sell drugs to provide food for him, right? His mom used to sell drugs to put food on the table. And Diddy had to do what he had to do too in order to actually get to where he at now. You know, even coming up, this hand Diddy story, like Diddy then started companies and things like that, and those things actually failed. But despite of all those challenges, see, the thing is this: the challenges was never sent to make a person weak. The challenges was only sent to bring the strength out of you. I'm gonna say it again. The challenges that you actually acquire, that comes, the challenges is only there for you to discover a new strength inside yourself that you didn't discover before. I'm gonna say it again. The things that you go through, the things that you face, they only come, the reason that they come, not to make you weaker, but they only come for you to realize that the material that's built up inside of you can endure and overcome anything. Look, to this day, highly successful. Let me choose another person. Look at Michael Jordan. Coming up with Michael Jordan, right? Same thing with Michael Jordan. Same thing with Kobe, even coming up. Kobe, he was obsessed. He wanted to, like I said, he was obsessed. He wanted to be the best basketball player in the world. What did he do? You see what I'm saying? The same thing with Martin Luther King. This is a perfect example. I'm just give you guys context because, again, if we're talking about different industries, and if we're talking, and this is the thing, we idolize and we look up to these type of people, right? When we think of basketball, we think of Kobe, Michael Jordan. We think of the music industry. We think of the greats like Diddy. We think of the greats like Jay-Z, an example, right? So think of Martin Luther King, one of the greatest leaders of all time. So even when Martin Luther King, was alive, when he was alive, you don't think Martin Luther King had challenges that he had to face? You don't think that MLK had adversity that he had to face, things like that? Even though he was going through those adversities, what did he do? He stayed consistent. Listen to me, guys. Even though he was facing all of this thing, the challenges that you think you facing in life or in business right now, financially, things like that right now, you don't think that Martin Luther King had it worse than you? Just sit back and think about that and meditate on that for 1 second. Just think about that. Just really think about that. The things that MLK had to go through for his vision to go alive. I want you to drop a 2 in the chat box if you think that MLK had to sacrifice. Drop a 2 in the chat box if you think that he had to sacrifice. Because I got to put this in context for you guys to get it. Drop a 2 in the chat box if you think that he sacrificed at least one time. Right? Drop a 2 in the chat box. Oh, okay. Now check this out. Check this out. See, when we say sacrifice in this opportunity, you're sacrificing for your vision. He had a vision. He's a perfect example of what sacrifice looks like because he sacrificed every single day, right? He had people, calling him out his name, things like that. You don't think that he had things that tempted him to like do certain things, people calling out his name, spitting on him and things like that, them blowing up his home, burning it on fire? You don't think that inside of him wanted him to go out and smack somebody, type stuff? You see what I'm saying? I'm giving you guys context so you can pull from other people's belief systems and bring it back to your belief. So if you don't believe in where you at right now, if you don't believe in you doing the work and things like that, pull from Martin Luther King vision, pull from his vision. And if you pull from his vision and do the backtrack his success and backtrack the things that he went through, you would know that anything that you up against right now, that's nothing compared to what he had to go through. Think about it. So I brought that up to specifically give y'all a different perspective, a different example on where you at right now, right? Because it's the thing, we don't want to always look at things from one perspective. See, when you have different perspectives to pull from, that's when you can have the right perspective to effectively pursue what you're doing when it comes to your vision. You see what I'm saying? And every great person, Kobe, Jay-Z, Diddy, the number one thing that all these people had in common was they sacrificed. So this is a part of being in the 1%ers club. So understand this, guys. The thing is this, these people who I just mentioned, at our ages right now, because we have a lot of millennials on the call right now, they did not have access to 6 and 7 figure mentors at 18, at 19, at 20, at 21, 22. They didn't have access to 6 and 7 figure mentors that's one phone call away. Think about that. They didn't have an iMillenniums. They didn't have a Bryce Thompson. They didn't have a IM Academy. They didn't even know what Forex was. See, if they highly successful where they are right now in their 40s and 50s, what do you think that they would be right now if they understood what we know right now in our 20s? Guys, I got to put this in perspective for you guys to understand what you have your hands on. They didn't have this. They didn't have it. We understand Forex now. We are one of the fastest growing millennium companies in the world right now, with people of our skin too. But we still tripping, but we still tripping about the opportunity. But we still be getting distracted and things like that. See, I'm putting this in perspective because, guys, you're in the right place at the right time, around the right people that's just like you. Think about it. How do you know later down the line something like this is going to be available? Not saying that it's not opportunities and things like that, but just in context like this. How many other millennials you know that's your age and things like that, that's like-minded, who you can chill with, flow with, and still have fun with. Like this is like it's college, but it's not college. I'm putting this in perspective for you guys to understand. So knowing that, even though we have access to these 6, 7 figure mentors, right? And basically this type of platform, we still choose to use it like a hobby. We rather work our jobs harder than we work our opportunity. And what's crazy is this. I guarantee you, some of you guys on the line right now, you guys was praying and hoping for opportunity. You asked God for it, and God sent you opportunity, but you still won't sacrifice to make the opportunity work. So it's like it's a slap in God's face because He gave you what you asked for. But in order to make that thing come alive, He told you to sacrifice and show up and study every day. But because you're not sacrificing, it's like, yo, you asking God for all of this stuff. You asking God for money. You asking Him to change your life. He didn't gave you the mentors. He didn't gave you an opportunity. He didn't gave you wisdom, but you still not sacrificing. You won't even show up for yourself. And because of that, it's like you contradicting yourself. If this making sense, drop a 3 in the chat box. If you understand it, drop a 3 in the chat box. What? We ask God. See, people get on their knees every night and they ask God for opportunity. People get on their knees every night and they ask God for money. But He gave you Forex. You can become a walking ATM. But the thing is, you won't sacrifice time, which is time to study. And sacrifice is God's love language. You want to be great and you want to be like the greats. You look up to them, but you're not willing to sacrifice like them. The only difference between people that's in a 99% and people that's in a 1%, the 1% sacrifice every single day. If you don't know, I'm going to give it to you. The 1% sacrifice every day. If you can find one thing to sacrifice every single day that's going to contribute to your vision, the way you want to be, then you're on the right path. Even as a chairman right now, guys, like I'm still sacrificing to this day. It's not a title, but guys, if you guys spent a day with me, I'm a student. Like it's crazy. It seems crazy, but I study every single day. I got notes from this call I was gonna give you guys. I had notes. Even if this is just from today, just from a video I was watching, right? I'm not even done yet, right? I still got a whole hour and 2 hours left from the video, but I'm studying, I'm sacrificing. And the person that sacrificed the most, guess what? You put yourself in position to have unexpected promises come faster to you, right? So understand this, guys. Another thing, these people, right? They would be obsessed about their craft. These people will be obsessed about their craft, right? And all day, I can guarantee you for a fact, they will be obsessed with their craft. So anybody that's highly successful, check Kobe, check Alex Morton, even check Bryce. Even though he's making all his money, he's still in the field. Guys, every 1%er, they are obsessed with their craft. So if you want to be great and you want to make unlimited income, you want to have the millions of dollars, guess what? Millionaires are obsessed with what they do. You have to become obsessed with what you do. It's their dominant thought. It sounds crazy. See, people thought Kobe was crazy until he got some rings. Who else? Who else got a crazy work ethic? Diddy. People thought Diddy was crazy, but look at his success, right? You see what I'm saying? People thought Steve Jobs was crazy, but look at his success. People thought Bill Gates was crazy because they would be studying, but look at his success. So your appetite in the present is a preview for what God is about to do in your future. Your appetite in the present right now for success is going to be a preview for what God is about to do in the future. See, you guys have the wisdom, but can you become obsessed with the wisdom to get the understanding? See, in the Bible, it talks about that my people perish because of lack of understanding. My people perish because of lack of understanding. You see, you have your hands on certain things, but you don't have the understanding. So how can you get something? You want the fruit without the understanding. But if you get the fruit without the understanding, you're going to be a one-hit wonder. You're going to get it one time and lose it because you don't have a solid foundation. You don't understand how to keep it, right? But understand this, guys. So I want to give you guys 11 top skills that great leaders possess. 11 top skills that the 1%ers, the 1%ers possess. And this is if you want to be in a 1%ers club. So number one, they inspire others. They're constantly inspiring others. They're constantly inspiring the masses. That's number one. Why? Because Inspiration stands for in spirit. The person that can inspire others will make millions. See, if you can be a person that inspires other people, guess what? You just put yourself, you just separated yourself from 99% of people, because 1%ers, they inspire others. The person that can inspire others is a person that will make millions. Number two, they communicate very well. Their communication skills are very well. They are very effective at communicating with other people, right? They can communicate very well. Number three, they have a positive state of mind. Number three, they have a positive state of mind at all times. Think about it. If I have a think about MLK, you don't think Martin Luther King had to have a positive state of mind as he was getting tested, beat down with water hose, called the N-word, spit on. You don't think that his flesh wanted to fight somebody? You see what I'm saying? So despite of all of that, he kept a positive state of mind. As these NBA players in the NBA, it's the finals. You don't think other other teams talking trash to them? You don't think Kobe had to keep a positive state of mind and stay focused despite of what other people were saying? So bring that back to you. Yeah, people gonna talk, say it don't work. Boom, boom, boom. You know, leave your business. Boom, boom, boom. Talk bad. Oh man, that's gonna fail. Don't support you. Let them talk. But guess what? One of the top skill sets that great leaders possess is a positive state of mind. You got to train your eyes to see the positivity in every single lesson in every single season of your life. Right? Number three, delegation. Top leaders, great leaders, the 1%ers club, they know how to delegate responsibilities. See, the greatest leaders are not the ones that can do the great things. The greatest leaders are the ones that can empower others to do great things. See, if you always have to do everything, that's not leadership, because great leaders empower other people to do greater things than them. Right? So number five, creativity. They think outside the box because there is no box. See, if you do not know, the person with the most ideas is going to make the most money. If you do not know, in entrepreneurship, the person that has the most ideas, that think outside the box, that brings creative ideas to their organization, the people that's around them, they think outside the box to create a box for other people. Not disregard the last part, but yeah, creativity. You want to think outside the box. Number six, trustworthy. Great leaders, 1%ers, they are trustworthy people. People can trust them. And what I mean by trust is people can talk to them about life problems and not just business problems. If people can come to you and talk about their life problems, that means that you can touch their heart, right? That means that you're way more effective with communication, right? If you can talk to somebody about what's going on in their life, that means you're effective with your communication. That's a great leadership trait. Number seven, they're responsible and accountable. They're responsible and accountable. They're responsible and accountable. They have integrity. If they say they're gonna do something, they do it. Number eight, manage time wisely. They manage time wisely. Imagine, I'm giving you guys the thinking process of how the 1%ers think, the 1%ers club, right? They manage time very wisely. They know exactly what they're gonna do and when they're gonna do it, right? So number nine, they're very influential people. The 1%ers are influential people, meaning this: if they say jump, people gonna jump. If they say, hey, look, I got this going on, people are gonna listen to them. See, if you're not an influential person, leadership is far from you. And huge impact is far from you, right? Being in the 1%ers club is far from you, because all great leaders have influence, and influence allows you to change the culture. It allows you to change people's lives. It allows you to make a shift in culture, right? You got to be an influential person. If you have no influence with the world, this is the thing. Many people think just because you got influence with your organization, that doesn't make you an influential person. See, a person that can influence the masses, via social media, that's an influential person. See, just having influence with your organization is not enough. It's not. You literally boxing yourself in. See, what it boils down to, how much influence you have with the masses. That's what determines your level of, influence. Number 10. They make decisions fast and slow to change. They make decisions very fast. The 1%ers, they make decisions very, very fast. They don't procrastinate. They make this. They say, hey, look, I'm gonna go to Miami. I'm gonna go to Miami. They say, hey, let's go to run a play. We're gonna go to run a play. They say this, they do it. They think very fast. High income earners, they make decisions very quickly. Very quickly, because they doers. They just doers. And they slow to make changes. 11. Last but not least, they sacrifice. Last but not least, they sacrifice. Last but not least, they sacrifice. Imagine all of those things that I talked about. You don't think Jay-Z had to do that? You don't think Diddy had to do that? You don't think Jordan had to do that? You don't think Kobe had to do that? You don't think Martin Luther King had to do that? Guys, these are all things that great leaders do. Because even with Kobe, you don't think Kobe had to have influence with his team members to be able to actually tap into their hearts to make them a better person? Right? So these are things that you need to understand. It's not about what you do. It's about who you are. If you get this instilled into your heart, it don't matter what you do. You can step into any industry, have authority, have dominion. Dominion is control. And you will prosper in anything that you do, point blank, period. When you understand these principles, it doesn't matter, right? My next point, understand this, guys. Uncomfortability will force you to focus. Guys, you don't understand. Like, even right now, I'm so uncomfortable. See, the most focused people are sometimes the most uncomfortable people. Martin Luther King, you don't think that he was uncomfortable? He focused. Kobe, you don't think he was uncomfortable? He focused. You don't think Jay-Z and Diddy was uncomfortable coming from the hood? They focused. See, your focus is what produces results. But what makes you focus? You got to be uncomfortable. It's the reason why the 1%ers are the 1%ers. It's the reason why they think the way they think. It's the reason why they have the income that they have. It's the reason that it's the reason why they have what, because they understand this. We're gonna be about 5 more minutes. But think about what you do. The most uncomfortable person is the person that will focus the most. The most uncomfortable person is the person that will guess what? Because uncomfortability forces you to focus. And when you have a vision, the vision is what you have faith for. So what you do is this: when you get uncomfortable, that allows you to put energy towards that goal. And as you put an energy towards that goals, that forces you to work. That forces you to work. That forces you to work. Guys, that's literally context, right? And I'm gonna be honest too, even coming up on my journey, me not having income, like coming up on my entrepreneurship journey in 2019, that forced me to focus every single day. 2018, 2019, because I was broke. Guys, I was on the couch every single day taking notes like crazy because I didn't have money coming up. That forced me to focus. That forced me to work. Guys, biggest thing you want to know, entrepreneurship coming up, even if you learn the skill set, even if you don't have money as an entrepreneur, what was the number 10? The number 10 was make decisions fast. Can somebody drop these points in the New Era group chat after the call? But some of y'all think this is what messed people up, and that's millennials. They don't even know. Some of y'all be thinking, hey, man, just because I don't have this, I can't do this. See, God don't care about your money. God don't care about your money. He don't. He wants you to get the information and the wisdom and the understanding on the information so you can make infinite money. But what makes people get out of process, learning a skill set, learning something, is because they want to rush and they want to, hey, God, not by your will, but I'm gonna go do this myself. Let me put my will on this and do it myself. And guess what? You doing your will, yeah, you're gonna have it, but you're not gonna be in process. You're not gonna be in process. You're gonna get out of process, go live your life, and then you're gonna come back later down the line and get back in process and do the same thing over and over. How do I know this? I've been an entrepreneur for 3 years. I didn't see it happen with everybody, a lot of people. So if you can respectfully respect your process and get the wisdom and get an understanding on every single thing that's coming your way, even if you go broke, you might be broke for us. It's okay because you're not broke because you're getting wisdom. Maybe guys, just because you in a dark place Just because you behind the scenes and other people don't know you, that doesn't mean that they're better than you. God just developing you so you can go back out there and produce. You got to respect the process and understand this. Pressure makes diamonds. Pressure produces diamonds. 3 more minutes. Pressure produces diamonds. Diamonds are produced under pressure. You want to hit your goal? Get some pressure. Get uncomfortable. I guarantee you for a fact it'll get done. I guarantee you for a fact it will get done. If you're not where you want to be right now, you don't have enough pressure on you. If you say you want to learn how to trade, you're not really studying enough. You ain't really putting in work. And I'm saying this because, guys, this is how 1%ers think. MLK think like this. Kobe think like this. Diddy think like this. Jay-Z. It's a reason why they at where they at. They understand this stuff. They done went broke plenty of times. But even though they went broke, they studied. They got back up. That's entrepreneurship. That's called being in the 1%ers club. Yeah. So with that being said, guys, I don't want to be long at all, but I did want you guys contact. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's not about what you do, it's who you are. Who you are. It's who you are. You want to see multiplication. The more people in your organization who you can get to sacrifice, and you tap into why they really doing this and get them to sacrifice, following instructions is going to be effortlessly. So I love y'all. See y'all at the banks, and let's get it, guys.